The Philippou Brothers have clearly made a mark on horror and cinema in general with their two features in the span of 2 years. Talk to Me, released in 2023, and Bring Her Back, released May 30th of this year. I'm really hoping these creative brothers will make a third film to seal their enormous grief trilogy. But until that happens, in this video, I'd like to examine these two films and compare them. Hi guys, it's Mia here with Movies with Mia, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a professional musician and film enthusiast that absolutely loves analyzing films, creating edits, art pieces, think pieces, visual, graphic design, and more on my Instagram. I'm most active on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and would be so appreciative if you could like and subscribe this video and check out my other content. I absolutely love creating content on cinema, television, movies of the past, movies of the present, and thank you for stopping by. Much of the initial feedback from Bring Her Back was that it was completely different, for many in a negative way, than the brothers' initial film debut. Others find a lot of common themes between the two. In fact, there is a line that Andy says to Oliver in Bring Her Back in the kitchen/cantaloupe scene that directly references and quotes Talk to Me. Talk to Me follows Miya struggling with the loss of her mother and her teenage friends after they discover a mysterious hand that can connect them with spirits. Bring Her Back focuses on two step-siblings who are unknowingly placed in an occult ritual to bring their foster mother's daughter, Kathy, back to life. Some may ask, is it even worth comparing the two films? For me personally, I really enjoy putting films side by side that have the same director because while they all may slightly differ, there are elements, signature artistic forms of expression, and themes that directors will often carry in all of their work, and I see this in spades with the Philippou Brothers. Additionally, it may give us some clues as to what to expect next if and when they continue to create more film. There are 3 major similarities and 3 differences between these two A24 produced films, and I will expand on each point a bit shortly. But let's start with the similarities. Both Talk to Me and Bring Her Back focus on grief, supernatural rituals, and family dynamics. As stated in my last Bring Her Back video, it is clear these brothers have a knack, fascination for, and deep understanding of grief. The horror in their films is far, far deeper than just jump scares, gore, or creepy images. It asks the viewer and the characters, how far would you go to feel relief from grief for just 1 minute, to see someone you've lost and loved, to feel their presence just one more time? And what are the consequences of those choices and risks, and what do they tell us about ourselves and the world around us? While the brothers are not the first in this genre to explore grief, this element that links both films really elevates both of their movies to a high level. And while I love a cheesy, campy, horrific time, so to speak, to be able to take a genre as polarizing as this and create some of the most moving and devastating art is absolutely incredible. Supernatural rituals are big plot points of Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, with the hand in Talk to Me connecting our characters to the other side, so to speak, and the ritual Laura is trying to complete and bring her back, allowing the spirit of her deceased daughter to be resurrected. Now, these rituals do differ in the sense of Laura trying to complete the ritual in a timely manner is a conflict, and a stressful one, might I add, of Bring Her Back, whereas the teens in Talk to Me are able to instantly reach the other side with no sense of, let's say, delayed gratification. But it's evident the brothers have a fascination at minimum with the supernatural, occult, rituals, witchcraft, and more. Transparently, I'm not really a big, huge supernatural horror lover. It's just not really my favorite subgenre. I find much of it to be very predictable, boring, or for cheap scares. However, in these two films, the rituals are not just there for spooky aesthetic, they serve plot and emotional purposes. To be frank, without these rituals, our protagonists cannot reach their goals. Finally, familial dynamics link both these films together, even to the point of exploring the idea of, quote, non-traditional families, whether this takes the form of step-siblings, foster care, and friends as family. Familial dynamics serve a massive role in both these stories, and while I cannot give specific details on both films in case people haven't seen one or the other or both, they very much inform the conflict, emotion, and devastation of both stories. The brothers do not shy away from punching you in the stomach emotionally, and while you may grow very attached to the characters and their energy with each other, nothing is a given when you're watching Danny and Michael's films. And let's just say both of these end rather bleakly in this regard and also in general. With the exception of Ari Aster's Hereditary, I have yet to see horror films as fantastic as these that explore the horrors of family dynamics, which frankly can be far scarier than any jump scares, blood, or image the film may provide. All of these wonderful similarities in consideration, I do appreciate that the films also have some variety. While I can understand people's complaints about the two being potentially too different, to me, it shows the brothers' range and wide scope of talent. 3 key differences between the two films can be outlined as follows: general tone, pacing, and cinematography. Both of these films are immensely disturbing and dark, but in my opinion, Bring Her Back is far more terrifying, sinister, and honestly, pretty hopeless in comparison to Talk to Me. The tone of these two films could not differ more. Talk to Me leans into more of the teenage energy it highlights. In fact, there's a scene where they all pass around the hand while Le Monde plays in the background. People light, they mess around. It's a lot of fun and one of my favorite scenes in the film. Now, in Bring Her Back, there is another dance party sequence that's kind of similar to the song Freaks, but it is not nearly as lighthearted to me as the former. There is something so disturbing, eerie, and unsettling about a grown woman forcing her teen foster kids to drink after a day of unprocessed grief at their father's funeral. I left Talk to Me feeling pretty empty, sad, and frankly wanting to call my mom, but I left Bring Her Back in absolute shambles, tears, and I felt stunned for multiple days. I adore risky filmmaking like this. I really do. It's clear the brothers pushed the envelope with their first film, but wanted to dig even deeper with their sophomore debut and take more risks, and it shows. I personally really like this shift in tone and darkness, but I also completely understand why many are steering clear of Bring Her Back for this reason. Now, Talk to Me and Bring Her Back both have similar runtimes, yet the pacing and feel of the two in terms of how fast or slow elements move along could not differ more. Talk to Me is a bit more fast-paced and action-packed, while Bring Her Back is more of a torturous, devastating slow burn. And my God, it is stunningly impressive that the brothers can pull off both of these so well. These types of pacings will pull different audiences and will polarize folks on what they prefer, of course, but we must give the brothers credit in how they are able to achieve both aesthetics so seamlessly and also within the same genre. Finally, there is a clear jump in cinematography from Talk to Me to Bring Her Back. Now, that's not to say one is better than the other. However, there are a few signature shots from Bring Her Back that absolutely take my breath away. One that has been heavily used in advertising and is also currently on my film wall as a poster is of Sally Hawkins as Laura creating a circle using her bloody hand. Others include some home footage of Laura's deceased daughter transitioning seamlessly into her foster daughter, and an absolutely heartbreaking sequence in the rain. Talk to Me's visuals are much more focused on the difference between light and dark, quick cuts with more of the fast-paced drama, and what lingers in the darkness that we may not always see. With any job or hobby, artistic or not, we all may choose to do. Generally, people improve the more they practice and create, and this is clearly evident in a lot of the camera work, editing, and soundscape in the sequence of both of these two films. As I've said in prior videos and think pieces, the Philippou Brothers are a duo to watch very closely. I highly recommend folks watch both these films and give them an equal amount of attention. And while I personally preferred Bring Her Back, they are both so excellent and will sit under your skin and in your psyche for days after, at minimum. Given their young age, their origins as YouTubers, and fresh ideas, I think they bring some very exciting and terrifying energy to the horror and film table. And I certainly can't wait to partake in their next feast. See you guys next time, and take care of yourselves. Bye.
You're a gift of filmmakers, and it's a gift for actors to get to work with people like you.
We love you, Sally.
We love you.